Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining me here on Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper, coming at you every Monday through Friday, live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you all the news, the charts, the TA, things you need to know to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. Thanks for joining me here. Shout out to everybody that is in the chat there. Glad you guys are joining me today. Let me go ahead and move my little screener over here, get it off my charts. There we go. Yeah, hey guys, we got some big stuff to talk about today. Just had a leak of a news report of a leak coming out. Is Biden about to create some executive order policy on AI that could affect crypto? That's the big question. We're going to take a look at that article. But first, we had some economic news. So let's go ahead and jump into there. If you guys haven't done so yet, and you're just joining me for the first time, or you're a repeat viewer here on the show, go ahead, do that right there. Nope, there on that side. Yep, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Get notified every time that we go live here on the show. Let's go ahead and jump over into the economic calendar. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's jump in there. Let's go. So check it out here, guys. GDP came out this morning. That's the big one. The GDP growth was projected to be at 4.3 or 4.0, depending on the consensus of the forecast. Previously was at 2.1, up 4.9. T-Shroom over on Investing Bros, that precedes the show here on Piper Academy, was just talking about that a little while ago. So, yeah, if you guys are tracking that, a lot of the reason for this was about the summer. I got an article about that, but also durable goods. And what durable goods is, let me go ahead and click the button here for you so I can bring that in. It's new orders for manufactured goods. So this is retailers ordering stuff. Not surprised to see that this is up a little bit today. Why? Well, because holiday season's coming in and people have to have stuff on their shelves for the holiday buyers to buy. Consensus, though, was it was going to be pretty low. You can see it was down 0.1% last month. The consensus and forecast was that it was going to be under 2% growth. Actually came in at 4.7. So they've ordered a lot more than people thought that they would. So, these retail stores thinking that a lot of people are going to be coming in to buy. So what has that done to our CME? Let's give it a little refresh here. I already refreshed it once, so probably not much change there on it. Yeah, 98.3% chance. November 1st, coming up in about a week, a little bit less than a week, 6 days. Going to be a 98.3% chance of a pause. Looking at a 1.7% chance of a rate cut. Don't think that's going to happen yet. Let's jump to December, see what we're looking at here. 74.3%. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. 74.3% chance here for a pause. Also in December with a 24, almost 25% chance of a rate increase. Yes. And then January, 65.3% chance of a pause there. Looking at a 30% chance of a rate hike in January. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Jump over, check out our liquidations map here. In the past 24 hours, 60,756 traders liquidated for a total of about $149 million. No big deal. However, largest single liquidation. This is what I really love to see on here. One single liquidation order was on XBTZ23 on BitMEX for a total of $2.4 million. So I want to know who these people are that can have these types of liquidations. That's what I want to know. 5 things you need to know to start your day, brought to you today by Bloomberg. Don't sponsor the channel, but hey, they put out some good news, and it's a subscription service, so I try to bring it to you guys so you guys get it here. So if you don't want to pay for Bloomberg, you can join me here every day, and I'll read you the top 5 things you need to know. Let's check the chat here. Indie Rock, Red Elephant, Army Gang, good morning. Good morning to everyone, man. Indie Rock, Crypto in House, Elo Brown, Gia with my Blue Wrench. Always glad to see you here, Gia. She is taking care of the moderating out there. So, yeah, 5 things you need to know today. As T-Shroom was saying, Oppenheimer and Barbie. Good morning. It's U.S. GDP Day, and economists are predicting a strong release, which it was, while we have a fly on the wall account on what happened at Morgan Stanley when its new CEO announced. So, plus the latest on Israel. Here's what people are talking about today. GDP Day. U.S. economic activity will probably blow through, in which it did. Team predicts 4.9%. Actually came in, like I said, at 4.7. get back to there. There we go. Team predicted 4.9. It actually came in a little bit below that at 4.7 though. They warned that the pace of growth is unsustainable and likely have been driven by one-off factors like the Barbenheimer movie, blockbuster, and concert tours by Taylor Swift and Beyonce. So a lot of people spent money this summer going to the movie and doing entertainment. So CEO, new chief executive officer from Morgan Stanley was picked. It was Ted Pick. When James Gorman steps back from the role in January after 14 years, president, co-president. Pick a co-president and three-decade veteran of the firm was picked to be the CEO. Big deal. He'll probably run it just like everyone else has, and we know how the banks have been doing. So, Israel latest here: the Israeli tanks and infantry entered the North Gaza overnight in a latest limited incursion, according to the IDF. The military said it attacked numerous cells, infrastructure, anti-tank missile launch posts before returning to Israeli territory. The U.S. President Joe Biden and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu discussed the situation by phone, including efforts to secure the release of hostages, that's good, and ways to ramp up aid deliveries. While Russian President, putting in his 2 cents there, Putin's 2 cents, said that there's a risk that an escalating conflict could spill beyond the borders of the Middle East. Yeah, that's what I've been saying the whole time. This is a very delicate situation over there. So, the growing disconnect between how Israel views the conflict and how it's seen by the rest of the Middle East and many further afield is fanning tensions on all sides. So, there's what that is with Israel update. Meta drop. Meta was down 4% in U.S. pre-market today. We might take a look at that if we have time today, saying it's at a whim of an uncertain economic environment. No kidding. That's how the American people feel too, man. We're uncertain about what's going on. So check it out. That's dragging Nasdaq index futures lower, and the bearish mood is carrying over to other markets in Asia and Europe. The dollar and the gold are up. We'll take a look at those. And then while oil has settled after a volatile Wednesday, punters betting on a Bitcoin ETF may face a reality check in markets if people start selling the news. Got an update on that one also. Today, Intel and Amazon are due their reports earnings as well as the U.S. GDP, which we already got. And the inflation metric, consumer spending, wholesale inventories, durable goods, initial jobless claims. Yes, I was going to talk about that. Jobless claims, folks. We typically, now I want you to take something in here. This is people filing for unemployment, okay? We have an odd thing here. Obviously, holiday shopping was being ramped up for. They're buying goods. But typically, we see a lot of jobs start to be made and not as many jobless claims because of holiday workers. We actually beat the consensus and the forecast here. We were at 210,000 last week, or 200,000 last week. This week, we're at 210,000. This does not match this. This should be lower because they're doing a lot of holiday hires to get rid of all of these goods that were bought. So, little odd there. Little odd. All right, let's move into the next article here. We got the U.S. GDP. U.S. economy grew at 4.9 pace, which we already talked about. And we already talked about, we talked about this pretty much. This is good. Oppenheimer, we got it. We got it. Barbenheimer was the reason for Summer Move and Taylor Swift. So here we go. Bloomberg saying the U.S. economy is running hot, maybe too hot. Coming up, the European Central Bank there, the sugar high. 1.5 years after the Federal Reserve started raising rates, nobody anticipated that the U.S. would be posting a growth number that looked more like it belonged to China. Before you get too excited, Bloomberg economics analysis suggests temporary factors have played a significant role and that this is not actually a return. Fed hikes are taking time to hit the real economy, but we believe higher mortgage rates, credit card debts, and business loan defaults will hit growth this quarter. Nevertheless, the consumer is hanging in there thanks to resilient job growth, rising wealth, and easing inflation, which is good news for President Joe Biden, who's had trouble convincing Americans still hurting from persistent inflation that Bidenomics are working. So, a lot of fake things here, making it look like it's strong, but it's actually not. It's just a whole lot of situational, isolated things that are pumping it and giving the numbers in a good layout, but it might be catching up soon. So keep that in mind. Bitcoin faces reality check if ETF launches Spark, sell the news pivot. So you guys know we talk about buy the rumor, sell the news all the time. Here is something that we're looking at here on with the situation that Bloomberg's also looking at is that the token is up 16% this week on the hopes of the ETF. Chart patterns signal a stretched rally may face some resistance, and we are hitting some resistance. We're going to look at that in just a second. Bitcoin has jumped on the bets that the first U.S. ETF fund will is set to be approved. The question now is whether an actual green light for the product would spur some profit taking. The largest digital asset is up 16% for the week, hitting about $35,000. Markets have priced in a Bitcoin spot ETF approval, and I expect a sell the news event if approved, said Hayden Hughes, co-founder of the social trading platform Alpha Impact. So that is what he's talking about there. And it looks like right here on this chart that they are showing here. Let me get the zoomed in a little bit for you. You can see here, they're looking at some fibs here. They said that we're coming into a fib hit on this 38.2. That's going to be coming in right around $37,000. They do see that it could push though as high as 40,000. I saw in here somewhere. Yeah, options bets are signaling that some speculators see a runway to $40,000 before the token stalls. So watching between that $37,000 to $40,000 range there. We're going to touch on headlines here real fast. Bitcoin rally powers mining stocks higher, so we're probably going to take a look at a couple of those. Bitcoin dominant hits 54%. It's the highest in 2.5 years. We're going to take a look at that Bitcoin dominance. X marks the spot. Looking at the bookmarks here, GDP 4.9%. I think we've beaten that horse. It's dead. The Kabisi letter. Here you go. I wanted to show you guys this. This is interesting. The average new car payment is at a record $730 a month right now. So the average car payment running about $730. Average new car loan rate is at 9.9. The used car loan rate averages at 13.9. Average new car price at $49,000. So you guys think about that. That's the price of the car with that 9.9% interest rate there. And the auto loan delinquency rate is at a record 6.1% currently. So, how can this possibly end well? And that's a great question. I don't think it will. Yeah, that's what we got there. And lastly, let's talk about this. Actually, let's do this. Guys, if you go down here, this is what you're watching right now. This is literally here. There is some Twitter links down here for Army Piper, me, and the Piper Academy show. Shout out to Crux of Crypto holding that down for me over there. And if you guys also, just on Investing Bros links down here, get that free Discord right there, get in there, see what it's all about, and then decide if you want to become a member, because that's where we drop when we are buying and selling. But go hit that Twitter up. Click that link. Go follow me. Almost to the 500 mark, and I'd like to get there. You guys can help. I appreciate you. Let's get into this headline here. Taking a look. Breaking news, guys. This just came out at 8:10 a.m., so that would be at 6:10 this morning. Leak reveals Joe Biden could be about to issue a game-changing executive order that could spark a Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto price chaos. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what this is talking about in here. Bring it in. Sorry about that phone ringing. I usually mute the phone. It was spam anyways. Bitcoin and major cryptocurrencies, including Ethereum and XRP, have been laboring under the weight of a looming crypto crackdown this year. Bitcoin prices have rocketed. We've already talked about that. ETF, we know about that. It's boosted the prices for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. XRP not as much as others. It's interesting they don't even put link in there. Now the Bitcoin and crypto industry is on the edge after reports U.S. President Joe Biden is gathering senior tech executives at the White House to unveil sweeping artificial intelligence regulations that some fear could spill over to Bitcoin and crypto. This is going to be coming out, and I believe this is Monday, folks. That this guy right here, old Sleepy Joe, what was I going to say? I can't remember. That's what he's saying right there. U.S. President Joe Biden will reportedly unveil a sweeping, wide-ranging, and long-awaited AI executive order on Monday, according to the reports in the Washington Post, Axios, and Bloomberg. The report, citing anonymous sources, said Biden will be hosting an event on safe, secure, and trustworthy AI at the White House, and they set to be attended by some of the biggest tech industry names. Get into where this. However, early reports of the order last month set alarming bells ringing in the world of crypto due to fears that it would classify computing power as a national resource, requiring cloud computing providers such as Microsoft, Google, and Amazon to disclose when a customer purchases computing resources beyond a certain threshold, including for things like mining Bitcoin and developing video games and running AI models. Um, yeah, this, I don't know how this is going to work out where people have to report everything that they're doing. It with mine, I don't know. Guys, this could be bad. This could be very bad. That's why I put that on the thumbnail this morning. Was not clickbait. This could be horrible for crypto. But right now, things aren't looking too bad. So keep that in mind. This is coming out Monday. Be prepared for it. I want you guys to have the knowledge. As soon as this drops, we might see some pullback and some drops across a lot of crypto. So let's go ahead and jump into the charts and let's see what we're seeing over there. Because news is news, but charts are life. All right, let's go. Looking here at Bitcoin on the 1 hour, we do have this running here. So guys, we almost hit yesterday on the 12-hour on the 12-hour predictive ranges. That's your trade band. There's your delta, lower trade band, upper trade band, right? We almost hit perfectly on the top yesterday, Wednesday, about noon, rejecting down. We came down. We retested on that trend assistant. I told you trend assistant was looking pretty good support. It hit that. We now have a nice little three-touch trend line running up here, and this is an ascending wedge. There's going to be your top for that. There's going to be that. This is a bullish pattern, just so you guys are tracking. About 7 out of 10 times, this is going to break to the upside. So I'm going to be watching this trend line here. Matter of fact, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you guys a little something here. Right click on this. We can add an alert on that trend line. When Bitcoin is, we can set that for crossing that trend line only once, and we'll put BTC breaking down. And that's going to be how we do that. Now you're going to see, we're going to get a little stopwatch symbol on there, or it should. Yep, right there it is. And now we have a trend line on here. If it breaks below this, I will know and get an alert on it. So that's how you do that. Let's go check out the chat real fast. Yeah, the economy is effed because of a movie. 2023 is awesome, right? Oh, good Lord. Miners are selling off. There you go, Eric. I'm buying. He says the big 500. That's just what we need. I really dislike that, man. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. There, French toaster. Nancy Croy. Good morning. I'll tell you good morning again. I told you good morning over there in Investing Bros live stream. But hey, good morning. Thank you for joining me today. Also, copy and Gia said hit that like, please. I agree. I'm with Gia on this one. All right, so yeah, bullish pattern here, getting a nice bounce up off of that trend assist there on the 1 hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4 hour, and I'll show you what I'm seeing here. Folks, we have the 786 right here that is holding as resistance. Yesterday, we got this little push up here, and it looked like this was a retest, and then the next candle opened up, and down it came. Couldn't even get back above the 786 for well, slight little closure there. But yeah, it's still coming, still in that ascending wedge, but stuck below that 786, also giving us with that upper trend line there of the predictive ranges. You can see here that we did get a breakdown out of the cloud with that confirmed momentum dot on the Chart Prime Oscillator Pro. We typically do come and bounce either at the zero line or at the bottom of the cloud. You see we did it there. You see we did it there. I do suspect that this might come back up, which is going to give us more upside today. Knock on wood. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the horns. Need that hype on that. Bitcoin. Don't break that blue line. So that's what we're seeing there on Bitcoin right now. This little sideways grind that we have going, guys, giving us a nice little cool off though on the RSI to bring it back down below that 70% mark. So that is giving me a little bit of hope. However, I'd like to see some wicking or at least some shortening of that candle, give us some curvature here to go on so that maybe we can get this to happen here. So that's what I'm watching for on that fractal. Speaking of, let's go check that fractal that I did the other day, because if you guys remember right, I grabbed a bar pattern, and that is not where I had it at. We were on the daily. 1 second. There we go. Yeah, I was thinking that we might grind sideways here in the golden pocket. Did not happen. We actually shot way above it. So this bar pattern now garbage. Let's get rid of it. Yeah, we had another pump up, so hey, go with it. I like it. Let's go and check out some other assets here. I want to check on the market opening here. Here's Google. Google opening way, way down, breaking beneath, folks, breaking beneath the dynamic reactor. This is pretty bearish for Google right now. Rip to my Google position, but I'll buy more. It's okay. DCA is the way. Amazon earnings reports, like I said, coming out today here. That's what that little E is right there. And if we click that, we can see that the earnings report's coming out today. That moon means after the close today of the business day. So also beneath its daily dynamic reactor, looking at Tesla here. Tesla did something bad. We came down. We in the platinum pocket. We broke down. We retested the platinum pocket for a rejection. I suspect that Tesla is going to have more downside coming to it. Let's go check CleanSpark. CleanSpark getting our little mining companies going on in here. A little bit of sell-off, but not bad today. Still got a green. Retested that dynamic reactor pretty clean right there. We do have a strong buy indicator on the daily. So, hey, if the mining continues and Biden doesn't come out on Monday, looks like you might be in a good position right today. Not financial advice, but about $4.40 for an entry on CleanSpark. However, I will point out that we do have a red candle here printing on the RSI prime for the daily. So be watching out there. Be careful. Let's go check out Ethereum. We're in the Ethereum shirt today. So let's go check out ETH. Crux of Crypto, how you doing, man? B10X, thank you. Like to share. Appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so Ethereum looking pretty decent today. When we do have the pullback, we can go here to the 4 hours, see that we got a nice retest here on to 382 there. Also, there's a breaker block from a previous order block. When we have these order blocks, like, let me find one here for you. Right there, some. These are order blocks down here. If we came back down and we closed out this low liquidity or medium liquidity, which I don't think is going to happen, at least not in the near future, that would be what becomes a breaker block. It's a zombie block. It's an order block, but it's dead. So what that means is that it's still in play, but there's no liquidity left in it. We came down, did a test run on that. That's probably what created the breaker block there. And then we bounced off of it, 382, getting a retest up. We are currently heading up to that upper trade band of the predictive ranges there from the chart prime indicator. That is going to be right there, that gold line from the Dynamics Pro there. And we're almost to that. Remember, we typically trade between the bottom gold trade band, which is right here, and the upper trade band, and there's your 50% median. So that is typically what we do. Previous resistance, we're about to head back up to that again, and we'll see if we hold that or if that gets rejected, maybe coming back down to that trend assist line right there like we saw with Bitcoin. Yeah, let's get it. Let's go to Doge. Doge today, folks, not doing too bad. The 4 hour, nice pullback here, but that's fine. It had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candle run up there. It does look like we are poised to get a little cool off here, maybe something about like we did here. This kind of came back and tested this previous high, so this could be coming down as low as this box right here, about the 6.8 cents there, maybe down to the 6.7 for a retest. Let's go ahead and throw on a T box on there. Shout out to TA Tim for that. Here's what we're going to do. Going to go over here, got a rectangle. We're just going to turn off the magnet so I don't get all of that play around there. We're going to do this and down to here, and we're just going to let that be the T box that I'm going to watch for a bounce there. So, yeah, that's what we're seeing on Doge. Just so you're tracking though, guys, warning. We did get the strong buy indicator all the way down here. This is purple check marks, take profit one. This red check mark, that is that means that it's losing momentum. That means that it's losing volume, it's losing power, and it could be pulling back. So we did have that print off there for this pullback, giving us that indication last night at midnight. So prime score is still 9, which means we still have an uptrend going. Check out Chainlink. I told you guys yesterday that Chainlink was probably going to come back and retest in this red box. It looks like that's where we're kind of heading still. I would like to see a nice retest in the 382 somewhere in that T box there at the 382 to give us a bounce to the upside, give us a nice retest, probably occurring with that trend assist in that box when it does happen. So that's what I'm going to be watching on the 4-hour there. Matic. Matic in the consolidation phase also here. Coming in currently at about 6.3 cents, 6.7 cents there. So up above, it's 786, so it's above the platinum pocket here. But we do have a trend assist coming in at about 6 cents, 60 cents on the dollar there. 63 cents is what we're currently at. My bad. Lurking on my best behavior. Good job, crypto trades. But this is not investing, bros. You don't have to have good behavior here. You have to be respectful, but you can be a degen. Crypto trades, fly loose. Crypto AI, thanks for joining me, man. I hope you have a good day at work, brother. ADA rejected off of the 50 cents here, 50 cent mark. And let me go ahead and pull this over so I can get a fresh view on the fixed range volume profile here. There we go. Let's drop down the lower charts. There we go. Yeah, we got a nice rejection perfectly off of that 50. I said that might be a point of contention for it, but it looks like we're going to try to make another run at it. We got a beautiful retest of the 618 on the golden pocket there on the 4-hour. So looking pretty good here on ADA right now. Cardano showing support. Just got to worry about that 50% line there on the fib. So if we can get up here, prove that as support, that would be glorious. If we get up here and we keep rejecting off this, could be an opportunity for some quick short scalps on that 29.7 cent range. Not financial advice, just what I would do. Talking about paper trading, of course. Of course, paper trading. Solana here pulling back below the 786. Solana's looking a little weak right now. It is in a channel, it looks like. Let's go ahead and draw a trend line on here. Looks like we do have a trend going right here. There we go. So it does have a trend line here, but it's a rising channel. If you really look at it, it's really just a rising channel. And that typically breaks to the downside. So if it breaks out of this, I would just be watching for the trend assist here and maybe this golden pocket. Let's go ahead and drop a T-box on here where I would show you a retest at. And let's go. Here we go. Let's grab this. We're going to go from about the trend assist over to the golden pocket. And that's going to be where I'm watching at if we break out of here for that retest. Come back down. Let's see. Cass. Got to talk about Cass here, guys. I told you Cass was, well, I actually told several people over on Crypto Archie and all them also. But one thing that I was watching for was when we were down here was the bounce on this trend line. I said very likely if we break the 50% line on the Fibonacci, we're probably going to be heading up to the golden pocket. Well, we did. We rejected right here on that upper trade band of the predictive ranges there. That was the rejection point on there. And then we came down, retested into the golden pocket, rejected at the top of the 887 on the platinum pocket there, and then we came back down to the golden pocket. Well, we did not close a candle on the 4-hour below that golden pocket. You can see that right there. So yeah, this is looking decent, looking like a good retest here. I told Crypto Archie last night on Twitter. He messaged me and I said, hey, as long as we hold this is looking like a good uptick there. And not wrong. If we actually look at where it was when he messaged me, up about 2% without any leverage. So that's not bad. And we retested perfectly on that trend assistant right there, still sitting above the 4-hour dynamic reactor. It looks like we're about to get a ribbon twist down here on the Oscillator Pro here. This ribbon twist, when this happens, typically, especially when we're low like this, you can see, let me go in here, you can see that this has led to either sideways or up. We got a good support there. Well, we got good support there, which means this very likely is going to cross here and then come back to the upside, continuing this, maybe a retest back up at the 887 there. So, Cass is in my car. Nice. Your wife's name is Cass. Good to know. Casper. I bet that is not your wife's name. So, This is not wife advice. I mean, financial advice that I'm giving out here. So, yeah, and we also had the RSI primed here, very low, hitting that 30% mark almost perfectly down there, and now getting a green candle on the Heikinashi. So, yeah, I'm expecting that CAS is going to continue to the upside here after that bounce that it had. Let's go look at the Dixie. We're going to talk about this. Let's go to the hourly because I told you guys that it looked like we were creating this head and shoulders. And I said that would be the right shoulder if we close this out and break that line, that we would be looking at a breakout to the upside here. And what I told you it would be targeted at would be up here at about 107, which was not shocking because that was our previous high range back here in October 3rd. So that was what I was calling for on that. We made it up to that upper resistance band. This is the upper resistance band of the predictive ranges. You can see again, there's a delta, top trade band, lower trade band. We pushed up and got rejected on a double top on that resistance there, but it's starting to come back up there. I still believe we're coming up to the 107.25 mark, maybe get on top of that and then come up. So be watching for that. That's going to be a little bit bearish for the asset market and for the stocks. That was not a Ben reference, I promise. I am not, I don't do the drama. I just do the charts, man. Let's look at gold. Gold still came back in after a little pump up there for a double top at $1,992, breaking off of that rejection on an order block here with very high liquidity. Grabbed that liquidity and then came back down into the golden pocket, still sitting at the 618 right now. Did get a wick down onto that trend assistant. I'm going to be watching for gold to keep its strength here and hold that 618 at 1978. But I did tell you guys a long time ago when we were at, where were we at here? Let's see. It was earlier this week, I believe. So that would be somewhere in here that we were heading up to there. Actually, it was at the 50% line on the fibs. Last week, I said I'm very likely heading up to that golden pocket. That is where we are currently sitting at right now on a retest of that 618 right there. So let's go look at futures. Futures are not looking good on the Dow Jones. ES1, this is going to be your S&P futures mini. It is looking like it's coming to the downside, probably heading down to at least that 50% mark and probably get a bounce there before it comes back up. NASDAQ 100 looking horrible, setting lows not seen since back here in June of 2023. So we are now losing all of those tech gains that tech made. So Bitcoin dominance, 54%, hit all the way up here as high as 54.5% last night on the 4-hour chart here. It does look like it's starting to get a pump again. I told you guys, I think this is going to continue up, and we're probably heading at least to this 50% mark. Bitcoin dominance is absolutely crushing it, especially if we start getting some sell-off. You know those alts are going to get hurt badly on that. So looking at the crypto total, this is going to be your total 2 minus Bitcoin. Looking on here, still getting some upside on alts, but we are kind of running static here now in a consolidation phase. So would not be surprised to see this pull back down to that delta line, maybe even hitting that trend assistant there if we start to see pullback on the alt market or Bitcoin starts to take off again. Total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and ETH, folks, degens are buying alt still. If you take away Bitcoin and you take away alts or take away Ethereum, altcoins still moving to the upside. So, but overall, more of it's going into Bitcoin with the exception of the past day. But I do believe this is coming back up. So, yeah, that's what I got there. Let's go check that 10-year. I want to check that real fast, and then we're going to look at what we're seeing on the yield. So the 10-year looks like we got a nice double top here. This could be setting up, folks, for a head and shoulder. This could be left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We'll see how this works out and what that would look like later. I don't think that's going to be an immediate threat. So, and then last but not least, let's go and check the 10 to 2-year yield. And guys, this is the big indicator of what's going on with the yield. So it is getting more less inversed, I should say. You can see when we were way down here, it was very bad. It was -1. We're actually still coming up, and that 2-year is catching up to that 10-year there. So starting to get back in line. Once this goes back to zero, that's a good sign for the economy. So, but still not quite there yet. And yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got. That's what I got for you. Let's jump out of here. Let's go talk. Let's go talk for a second. So yeah, guys, thanks for joining me today. That was what I'm looking at in the charts. Everything right now kind of in a consolidation phase. Got some good resistances, got some good supports. As long as you guys are keeping your finger on the pulse, be watching for Bitcoin to get a nice uptick off of that rising wedge, that ascending wedge that it has there. And that will be a bullish move for Bitcoin. But don't forget, Monday, Biden is going to be dropping, could be dropping, according to a reported leak from anonymous sources on AI. We'll see if that is a false leak that somebody put out there to try to kill the crypto run that's going on, or if it's actually something that's going to be causing an impact on the markets for crypto. That'll be Monday. I'll be watching closely for that coming out. But yeah, guys, Monday might be a different time zone, a time on the show, just so you're tracking. You guys know, retired military, dealing with the Veterans Affairs. I do have an appointment for labs. Gotta go get blood drawn for the vampires on Monday, but should be pretty quick. It's here by the house. Might be about a half hour late. Might start the show at 8 o'clock that day, my time, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will let you guys know over on Twitter. If you haven't followed me there yet, go follow me on Twitter. Link down in the description below. But hey, thanks for joining me today. You guys rock. I appreciate y'all being here. I'll be back tomorrow morning bringing you guys all the data that you need to have knowledge in the markets, the news, the charts, the TA, and so that you know what's coming ahead so that you can make the right moves. Thanks for joining me today right here in Piper Academy, where knowledge is profit. I will catch you guys tomorrow.
That was awesome, dude!